Good morning. This is PJ. It is Monday, November 15th. We're here for our 3 daily lectionary readings. Psalm 13 is our psalm reading. Daniel 8, 1 through 14 is our Old Testament reading. Hebrews chapter 10, verses 26 through 31 is our New Testament reading. Remember, with it being Monday, it's reflecting on what we did yesterday in worship. And Psalm 13, it opens up with something that I think many of us would probably recognize and comprehend and understand. So Psalm 13. Long enough, God. You've ignored me long enough. I've looked at the back of your head long enough. Long enough. I've carried this ton of trouble, lived in a stomach full of pain. Long enough, my arrogant enemies have looked down their noses at me. Take a good look at me, God. My God, I want to look life in the eye, so no enemy can get the best of me, or laugh when I fall on my face. I've thrown myself headlong into your arms. I'm celebrating your rescue. I'm singing at the top of my lungs. I'm so full of answered prayers. Our Old Testament reading continues in the story of Daniel. Daniel chapter 8, verses 1 through 14. In King Belshazzar's third year as king, another vision came to me, Daniel. This was now the second vision. In the vision, I saw myself in Sushah, the capital city of the province of Elam, standing at the Ulai Canal. Looking around, I was surprised to see a ram also standing at the gate. The ram had two huge horns, one bigger than the other, but the bigger horn was the last to appear. I watched as the ram charged, first west, then north, then south. No beast could stand up to him. He did just as he pleased, strutting as if he were the king of the beasts. While I was watching this, wondering what it all meant, I saw a billy goat with an immense horn in the middle of its forehead come out of the west and fly across the whole country, not once touching the ground. The billy goat approached the double-horned ram that I had seen earlier standing at the gate and, enraged, charged it viciously. I watched as, mad with rage, it charged the ram and hit it so hard that it broke off its two horns. The ram didn't stand a chance against it. The billy goat knocked the ram to the ground and stomped all over it. Nothing could have saved the ram from the goat. Then the billy goat swelled to an enormous size. At the height of its power, its immense horn broke off, and four other big horns sprouted in its place, pointing to the 4 points of the compass. And then, from one of those big horns, another horn sprouted. It started small, but then grew to an enormous size, facing south and east toward lovely Palestine. The horn grew tall, reaching to the stars, the heavenly harmony. It threw some of the stars to the earth and stomped on them. It even dared to challenge the power of God, Prince of celestial army. And then it threw out daily worship and desecrated the sanctuary as judgment against their sin. The holy people of God got the same treatment as the daily worship. The horn cast God's truth aside. High-handed, it took over everything and everyone. Then I overheard two holy angels talking. One asked, "How long is what we see here going to last? The abolishing of daily worship, this devastating judgment against sin, the kicking around of God's holy people, and the sanctuary?" The other answered, "Over the course of 2,300 sacrifices, evening and morning, then the sanctuary will be set right again." Our New Testament reading today comes from the book of Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 10, verses 26 through 31. If we give up and turn our backs on all that we've learned, all that we've been given, all the truth that we now know, we repudiate Christ's sacrifice and are left on our own to face the judgment. And a mighty, fierce judgment it will be. If the penalty for breaking the law of Moses is physical death, what do you think will happen if you turn on God's Son, spit on the sacrifice that made you whole, and insult the most gracious Spirit? There is no light matter. God has warned us that He will hold us to account and make us pay. He was quite explicit. Vengeance is mine, and I won't overlook a thing. And God will judge His people. Nobody's getting by with anything. Believe me. And here ends our readings for the day.